Welcome back to Unbox Analysis. Today, guys, my name is Gary. I am your host, as per usual. Today, we are going over a couple different things. One, I found a scam on Temu. I know what you guys are thinking. There's videos out there about scams everywhere. This one's a little different. Let's just say it has to do with one of these drones. But aside from that, we're going to be going over some drones today. We're going to check them out. We're going to test them out, see what we can do. All right, let's get into it. A couple of these drones I have opened up and checked out a little bit just to try to charge a couple of batteries, save a little bit of time. But aside from that, I've only test flown one of them just to make sure it actually flies. So first we're gonna start with this little one. This little one here was about 25 bucks. Again, prices will all be up here. You guys know how it goes. All right, jumping straight into the packaging. First thing you see here, you have a whole bunch of extra items. You have a screwdriver, a charger, some extra guides to go around the blades, and a few extra blades. Next section, we have an instruction guide along with an app to download. We'll get to that here in a little bit. And then another little user guide showing you the basic controls, what does what. Next up, we have the battery. So the battery is small, but the drone is small. So might work out all right. Now don't expect any kind of amazing camera quality or flight times out of these. I really just want to know, are these decent beginner drones or not? Inside of the case here, I will say it's a well-designed case. It's not going to protect anything though. It's pretty soft. It'll stop it from getting some scuffs. Coming right into it, first things first, we have the camera holder. Well, your phone holder, which goes in right here. You'll notice the drone is stored inside. Coming around the back, we have two ports here, what appears to be for AA batteries, a couple of little buttons up here, and then some joysticks. So real quick for comparison size here, we're gonna pull out my Holystone HS720G. Now Holystone is a drone company who sent me a drone a while back. I did a video on them. Crazy good quality for the price. Honestly, amazing 4K entry drone. But you'll notice some design similarities, I think, in a lot of these drones. They tend to fold up the same way. They open up the same way. So, it looks like basically what they're doing is cloning a popular design. Scanning the little QR code does give you the option to select from a whole bunch of different options, Google Play Store, Sideload, Apple Store, stuff like that. It appears the app has 1 million plus downloads with a 3.3 star. Okay, got the app installed, pretty simple. There's no option to connect. You kind of just have to select the Wi-Fi that belongs to this little guy. The camera quality doesn't appear to be too bad in this. I'm actually kind of impressed. And here we'll take a look at how it flies outside. All right, now that we have the drone set up and we're outside, we're gonna do the takeoff mode. Now overall flight seems pretty stable. It does tend to drift a little bit here and there, but nothing too major. Oh, apparently it has a backflip button because that's necessary in a drone. Controls seem pretty stable overall. Not super loud either, it's a pretty tiny guy. Oop. Hit the camera there a little bit, no big deal. Now, no matter what button I push though, I cannot get the actual position of the camera to change, and it does tend to drift quite a bit. So maybe not the world's best beginner drone, but overall, not bad. For 25 bucks, if you're looking for a super cheap beginner drone that you're not too worried to hurt, or you want to get your kid into trying them out, okay, not bad. Now, real quick in this video, I want to talk about two things. I'm turning this into a giveaway video. I decided this during the day of editing, and I want to talk about this. So let's talk about this, then I'll give you the details about the giveaway. So this is the AirDog wireless foldable fan. If you're anything like me, you don't sleep without a fan on, and you don't like being without a fan. But AirDog sent this over to me 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they said if you like it, throw in a video. Well, I do like it. I've been using it every day. This isn't a paid sponsorship. They did send this to me for free. But I really do like it. I've been using this every night when I sleep, and I went camping last week and I took this with me. It works great. So, cool aspects about it. 8,000 milliamp hour battery, can last up to 25 hours on a charge. Obviously that's going to be some lower power settings. Small form factor, so you can run it like this, pretty much however you want. It's got an adjustable stand too, goes up quite high. Then here on the base, you have power, fan speed, a timer to shut it off, and it'll auto rotate back and forth like the old school fans. Overall, pretty awesome fan. I like it quite a bit. Thank you, AirDog, for sending this over. If you guys want a nice high-tech fan that's gonna last and you can take camping or anywhere with you, make sure to check the link below. Seriously high quality product. I really enjoy it. If you want to get into that giveaway, I need you to comment down below which drone you liked, why you want it, and what you would do with it. Tell me about it. Tell me your favorite parts. Let me know down below. Now keep in mind, apologies to my UK and other viewers. I know a lot of you are out there, but this giveaway has to be in the US, Canada, or Mexico only. Shipping prices lately are crazy. And since I don't have any kind of commercial account, I have no way to ship things for a realistic price. So if you want to get in that giveaway, comment down below which drone was your favorite, why do you like it, and what would you do with it. Back to the video. Now, let's get on to the second main subject of this video. Let's go to the scam I uncovered on Temu. So the scam has to do with this drone here. First, we'll take a quick look at this drone, and then we'll talk about what I noticed and the kind of fishy things going on with Temu listings. The OAS GPS drone. Now, it's not about the actual product itself, it's about the listings. So let's take a quick look here at this drone. Let's open it up, see if we notice some similarities here. First off, exact same build idea as the other drone. Slightly different size, which that's not a scam, that's fine. But just take a look at the writing here. Now, let's take a look at these listings. Okay, so first up, this is the listing that I purchased, $63.36. Now, if you scroll down further, it's actually going to tell you the camera is more like 1080p. The name is just 8K. Let's take a look at this second listing. So the second listing, $99.98. But you'll notice that looks exactly, the reviews are different, the drone is identical. Same picture and everything. What about this listing? $105. Take a look at this one. That's right. That is the exact same drone for $188. That is 3 times the price of what I paid. So to think about that, we have 4 different listings for the exact same drone, all in different prices. For $68 only comes with 1 battery. The listing for $105 comes with 3 batteries. The listing for $168 didn't even say how many batteries it came with. So that might lead you to believe that maybe the $105 listing is the best listing because it had more batteries. I'm not sure, but it seems kind of scammy to me to have the exact same drone listed in many listings, all different prices. Now, something to keep in mind with this is I didn't even spend hours looking. I found those 4 listings in a matter of about 10 minutes. So with that said, we'll still test this out and see how it works because, well, that's the main focus of the video. First thing I noticed on this drone, this one charges off of micro USB right here on the side. Now, not the biggest fan of micro, but I prefer micro USB over AA's any day. So for this one, scan a little QR code in the back. If you have an Apple device, it'll take you to it. Otherwise, you just search RX drone. So here we're going to insert the battery. It tells you long press the power button on the aircraft. Power button on this one is on the bottom, right down here. Similar to the rest, you're going to go to your Wi-Fi settings and you're going to connect to the Wi-Fi. This one does appear to have GPS according to the settings. We'll try to test that outside and see how well it works. Okay, now keep in mind with this drone here, this one was either $68, $99, $106, or $170. So hopefully this one can at least handle the wind, and we're gonna test out the GPS landing function. So far, this one seems to be the most stable. Now the wind is blowing, and it is actually currently fighting against the wind to stay stable. So this one does have some type of gyroscopic activities to it. Let me turn it around here and see if it handles the same way both ways. This one is actually very good at leveling itself in the exact same wind the last one could barely fight against. Let's test out the camera quality on here. Doesn't appear to be the greatest. The camera is quite laggy, and I have no controls for the camera. So now we're going to fly it up a bit. You'll notice up higher, it's still handling the wind quite well. I'm actually quite impressed with this drone for the price. Again, camera quality is going to be the biggest fault, I'm guessing, with this one. Let's bring it back down. Now, it said GPS was locked, so we're going to leave it hovering here, and I'm going to hit the one button to send it home. Let's see if it can find it. Okay, so the so-told GPS landing did not GPS land, but it in fact just landed directly where it was. But all in all, if you get this one for around 60 bucks, this thing flies really nice even in the wind. As I go up above the trees, the wind gets quite high, so I'm gonna give this one my first recommendation at the $60 price point, but not under any circumstances at the $170 price point. On to the next drone. Now, while we are doing this, I'm going to be charging a couple of these things up, getting ready for the outdoor flights with my FJ Dynamics power bank. I'm just kind of showing you a quick teaser of it. There's going to be a full video coming out about this soon, but this is unlike any power box out there. Machined aluminum. Again, not going to say much else, but we'll get to that here shortly in a future video. Coming up next, we have the E99 Pro. That is the name on it here. It says it's 2.4 gigahertz wireless transmitter, HD lens, dual camera, wonder if that's true, and a large capacity battery. Now, you're already gonna notice most of these have the very similar cases. Slightly different colors, some of them exactly the same size, pretty flimsy. Not a defensive case by any means. So inside of this one, we're already looking pretty similar to a lot of the other ones. You have some papers, some backup parts, some charging cables. Hopping into the controller, it looks like we have some fold-out antennas on this one. Unlike a lot of the last ones that have just simply no antennas. In the back, you have a slot for 4 AA batteries. And then what appears to be an under phone mount. Let's see if this fits my S22 Ultra. It does. Now, the thing I don't like about a holder like this, though, is now it's pushing up against my power button, my Bixby button. It's going to be causing me all sorts of issues in the future, but it's not a bad setup. Actually, with the phone there, it does feel good in the hand as long as it's not pushing on the buttons. After we've checked out the controller, you can see that the battery comes pre-inserted with some tape on the end. So you have to remove the tape in order to expose the contacts. If you don't expose the contacts, you get no connection. Now, just like a lot of these other batteries, if we look here, there is a USB micro port up here. That is how you charge a lot of these little batteries. Not the most convenient thing, but not the worst thing either. You'd be able to get a whole bunch of these and charge them all fast together if you wanted. Could be a fun little game with some family or friends at a little get-together. In typical Temu fashion, you can have Android or Android. The choice is yours. Then once you scan that, it's going to bring up the App Store, Google Play Store, and some type of Chinese store. So once again, we connect directly with Wi-Fi. It seems to work pretty similar to all of the other mainstream drones that I've tried out. But a lot of the nicer ones connect with Wi-Fi to the controller, and the controller uses a different signal to connect long range to the actual drone. That's how you can get really long ranges on those nicer drones. Same thing, hit record. It says that it's recording. So we'll give this a test. This is camera number 3 if it records right. A little face test. So this is recording from the little drone, the Drone Pro, if you will. Okay, starting out on the second one here, first thing I'm gonna say is this is not the best handheld for a phone of this size. It keeps popping out, hitting buttons. Definitely keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and take off and see how it flies. So hovering, it already has a little bit of drift going on. This one's a little bit louder than the rest. Now, it will actually not allow me to fly very far away from myself because I believe it's getting ready to go out of its range and it stops me. So that's an interesting feature. It does not handle the wind very well. I'm currently trying to fly completely away from the wind and it's barely moving and the wind is not very strong today. Put the auto land function on. Okay, so this one here, while it does fly okay, we have barely any breeze out here. So I would not recommend this one. It cannot handle the wind at all and the controller setup just isn't great. All right, coming into our final drone, this one comes in at around $46. I did find two different listings on this one. They were both within a couple dollars of each other, but that doesn't mean there's not more. This exact drone could have been somewhere for about half of what I paid. So if you spend more time looking, you will find better deals. So opening it up, this is by far the largest drone here. Honestly, it's got a really good look to it. That's some nice orange, but let's check this out first. So first I see a battery here. We have the similar instructions. A whole bunch of extra parts. Now these blades are far larger than any of the others, but you will notice on all of these other drones, they have the, what I call breakaway blades. So if you were to hit something with a blade like this, there's a good chance those blades will spin out of the way as it comes down, giving you a much better chance that your blades are going to survive the impact. Plus it's a lot less strain on the actual arms coming out. So while these ones are bigger, safety-wise, it doesn't mean the best. Another thing I noticed, check this out. This one for $45 comes with 3 individual batteries. So far, that is a really good deal comparatively for the price. Inside the bag, you have 4 guards. Now the guards mount on and go around where the blades rotate, kind of like a learning device, if you will. They're gonna add a little extra weight to the drone, but give you a better chance to survive again if you hit something. Also, 4 replacement blades in here with clips, and then another instruction manual. Starting out with the controller, this controller looks very similar to the controller from the last drone. Button layout slightly different, and instead of having a power button, you have a switch, but then it also has a 360-degree button. Another button here that says 1 button obstacle avoidance. So if this drone really does have obstacle avoidance on it, that's impressive. So unlike the last one though, this one again, AA batteries, not a built-in battery. Weight-wise, pretty similar to the last couple, but this one actually folds out different. Instead of having overlapping arms, the arms are caved into each other. You'll notice the bottom, you have a small antenna, you have a camera on a moving mount, then you have 4 different pads where the drone sits down, and in the back you have the battery compartment. Once again, I'm not seeing any type of SD card slot anywhere in here. Hopefully these are saving directly to the phone. That'll make the footage a lot nicer. Looking closely, these motors, it's really hard to tell on camera, but down inside, these are gear-driven motors instead of brushless. They might still be brushless inside, but they're kind of quite a bit different. So if you look at these ones, you look close, you're going to see some coils in there. Those coils magnetically charge the housing or a central hub to actually spin the blade. So there's no physical part making contact. So if you stop these blades mid-flight, it's way less likely to damage anything other than, well, your hand. So this one appears to be a little bit of older technology. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the gears. Makes me wonder how well this one will hold up. So on to the last drone. Let's head outside and we'll fly it and see how it goes. Now we're on to the last drone. This one comes in around $50 and it is the biggest one, but it seems to use the oldest technology. This one uses actual gears to drive the motor connected to another little tiny electro servo motor. So let's go ahead and take it off and see how it flies. First thing we're going to do is just let it hover. Doesn't seem to be leveling itself very well. Let's bring it back center here. So this being the biggest drone, it is a little bit louder because you can hear those servo motors going. Now, I can only show you here on my phone the recording, but it does have multiple camera angles. Although I can't quite tell what I'm looking at the bottom one. It might just be an actual zoom. So camera quality wise here, I'll stand in front. You can see extreme high exposure and not great in light. Now this one here is not auto leveling itself. It is not holding itself in any type of position. Let's go up a little higher and see how it does. Overall, it does seem to fly nice, but not anywhere near as nice as the $60 one we just tested. It does allow you to change the angle of the camera, one click at a time. Now let's try the avoidance feature. Let's see if it avoids anything with this feature on. I'm going to say that this one does not have an actual avoidance feature. I set it to try to track, it didn't work. I tried a whole bunch of different options with it, it didn't work. So we're gonna call this one a fail. Today's lesson in this video, if you find something you want, there's nothing wrong with that. Check it out, buy it, do what you gotta do. Just make sure to double check and look around to make sure there's not a better price somewhere else on Temu or any other website for that matter. In the end, this is a really fun video. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate every one of you, and we'll see you on the next one.